let's begin to feel our breath pattern. Take a nice big inhale in through the nose. Feel your rib cage expand. Feel the belly press into the thighs. And then as we exhale, just feel ourselves relax down to the mat and the ground below us. Remembering that we can settle into child's pose anytime today, regardless of what we're doing. If you need to take a minute, or if a pose doesn't work for your body. Let's take 5 more deep arriving breaths. Allow the inhale to expand the body, and the exhale to release. Slowly beginning to move onto all fours. Stack our fingers underneath our shoulders, our knees underneath our hips. If you need something underneath your knees, like a blanket or a pillow, please feel free to add it there. Our eyes gaze down on the mat in front of us, and as we exhale, let's begin to round the spine towards the ceiling into cat pose. Inhale, belly drops down towards the ground, chest opens as we look up into cow. And just use the wave of your breath. Exhale, slow articulation of the spine as it rounds all the way towards the ceiling. Eyes gaze down towards the belly. And then slowly release the belly towards the ground. Open the chest through the arms and look up slightly into cow. Exhale, round. Inhale one more time, drop the belly, open the chest into cow. And then let's settle into that neutral spine, that place between cat and cow, where we're supported by our core. We press the hands strong into the mat. Our right fingertips begin to come out alongside of our ear, thumb towards the ceiling. Beginning to extend the left leg behind us. Maybe we bring toes to the mat or we lift the leg in line with the spine. And then slowly lower down. Left arm lengthens, right leg lengthens. Feel yourself push through the heel and reach forward with the fingertips. Slowly reconnect to the mat, taking one more to each side. Right arm, left leg. As we lower on the exhale, inhale, left arm, right leg. Feel the torso still as the limbs are moving. And then slowly come all the way down. Let's curl our toes underneath and begin to lift our hips high into our first downward facing dog. And let's just take a few breaths and find some movement here. Our hands are spread wide. We pedal out our feet. Our chest comes towards our thighs. Begin to open up that back side of the body. Just see how you feel this morning. Some of you it's mid-morning, some of you it's afternoon for my people joining us in Europe. Two more deep breaths here. And then let's bend our knees, look to the space in between our hands, and walk our feet into a forward fold. If we have very restricted hamstrings or any issues in our low back, take a nice knee bend here and just let the body ragdoll. I like to take a knee bend even just as I warm up. Let the head relax, eyes gaze between the thighs. Feel the inhale, enter through the nose, expand the belly. As we exhale, our sitting bones, those bony parts of our tail lift towards the ceiling. Let's bend our knees a little deeper. Circle sweep the arms towards the ceiling. Squeeze your backside as we extend the hips, arms lift up, and then sink into chair. Tailbone looks down. Inhale, lift, extend the hips. Exhale, fold, arms swan dive down, forward fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step back into a plank pose. And we can take knees to ground if we'd like, or we can extend the legs, whatever works best for you. Feel the hands strong into the ground. Screw the elbows in so that they look towards the fingertips. Squeeze our glutes. And then use the belly and come all the way back to downward facing dog, even if your knees are on the ground. Let's take our right leg behind us. Our hip squares down to the mat. Slowly release. Left leg lifts. Drop the right heel, slowly release. One more to each side, right leg lifts. And we release. And our left leg. See how our hamstrings feel this morning? And then slowly release. Let's come into a planked position. Drop our right knee to the ground and then kickstand it back as we open into a supported side plank. So right knee is down, we're grounded through the back left foot. Take a nice big inhale here, and as we exhale, we're gonna lift the torso up and draw left arm down the leg as we reach open into gate pose. Feel that beautiful side body open on the right, and then as we come in, inhale, exhale, slow and controlled. Use your core. We stay tucked through the rib cage as we plant the right hand back down. Inhale here. Exhale, lift the torso. Keep the rib cage down, sucker punch underneath the rib cage as we extend over. Slowly come up, inhale. Exhale, control the core, slow as we bring the right hand back down to the ground. Reach high through the fingertips. One more time, inhale, lift. And exhale, open. As we come all the way back down, we reconnect the right hand. And if it's comfortable, you can stay right here, or we're gonna take the top leg in line with the hip. Eyes can gaze up towards the hand, towards the screen, or down towards your right hand. As we come around into a low lunge, our top left leg is going to come around and plant towards the front of the mat as we pivot on that back knee. Plant the right hand. Exhale, begin to move the torso over the left leg as we bring out the spine. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, open. Rotate the spine, twisting low lunge. We should not twist for any reason, just hold the lunge. Inhale, come in. Exhale, twist. And then as we come back into our center, we curl our back toes to extend the back leg and step all the way in, forward fold. Feel the weight rock up onto the toes and then back onto the heels. Bend the knees nice and deep. Circle sweep the arms towards the ceiling. Squeeze the glutes as we extend the hips. And then exhale, sink into our chair. Tailbone looks down, building strength through the legs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Bend our knees, stepping back to either a full plank or knees to the ground. I'm going to demo knees to the ground. And then as we lower the body all the way down in one unit, chaturanga, kneeling or full, your choice. Elbows hug together. Squeeze the big toes together and press the tops of the feet into the ground. And then gently lift the torso as we open the chest. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Move the hips. Just take a few moments, do what feels good. Let's bring our right leg in between our hands, however we need to get it there. So maybe we lift the right leg and we draw knee to nose and we plant. Maybe we take a hand to an ankle and that helps us then. Option to drop the back leg or keep it lifted, your choice. As we take the torso up, squeeze the back glutes and find your lunge pose. Our hips are looking towards the front of the mat. We're lengthening the fingertips as our rib cage nestles over our hips. 2 more deep breaths. As the hands come down, we walk ourselves to that left edge of the mat as we come into a wide-legged forward fold. Our toes are looking forward. Our arches are lifted. Our belly's in, and maybe our torso is lengthened in that half back position, or maybe we hinge forward a little deeper. Depends on where you feel you're at right now. Let the head go. See how you feel through the inner thighs. And then let's walk around to the back of our mat, so that left leg pivots. And then we find downward facing dog from here. If you would like to flow, you can flow. If you want to stay here in down dog, stay in down dog, or even child's pose. If you're flowing, inhale forward to plank, kneeling or full. Squeeze the glutes. As we lower, peel the tips of the shoulder blades towards one another. As we lower all the way down, squeeze the glutes as we lift the chest into cobra. And then slowly come back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank. Dropping the left knee this time to the ground, kickstand it back as we draw the back of that right edge to the front edge of the mat. Lift the arm. Feel the opening through the side body. Take a nice big inhale. And then as we exhale, use the strength in the core as we come up slowly. Sucker punch underneath through the rib cage as we extend the left arm over the ear. Inhale back to center. Exhale, control the movement as we connect the left ear. Inhale, and then exhale, feel the movement into gate pose. Notice if one side is a lot more restricted than the other. Slowly come in, control down. Let's take one more. Feel the exhale, the breath is what moves us. And then as we reconnect, the left hand to the mat, staying here, enjoying a supported side plank, or take the top leg in line with the hip, strengthening through the outer hip. Eyes are gazing center, down or up. Slowly release the top leg as we pivot back around. Excuse me, come all the way up. Oh, we're coming into a lunge. Take your leg back up. Bring it all the way back around. Find that low lunge. Left hand plants. Right hand comes to the thigh. Nice big inhale. And then as we exhale, round the spine. Over the right leg, twist the body. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, come in. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward as we twist and open. As we come all the way back center, curl our back toes as we extend the back leg, kick back into downward facing dog. If you would like to flow, please feel free. Remembering flowing is optional. So if we're taking the inhale forward to plank, kneeling or full, squeeze the glutes. Allow each posture to get its full inhale or exhale. Still staying with cobra. Lift the back, squeeze the toes. Slowly come back. Downward facing dog. Left leg comes in between the hands, however we need to get it there. Take your time. Let the toes look to that front edge of the mat. Take the torso up. Feel evenness through our hips. Remember, our back leg can always be down. Squeeze your glutes. Option to take the arms up. Remembering the arms are just kind of icing, so we can always take them prayer hands to heart center. We can even keep our hands on our hips. As the hands come down to frame the left leg, walk yourself back around to that right edge of the mat, wide-legged forward fold. Beginning to move slightly side to side. Let's begin to gently shift into our right hip. Coming center, and then over to the left. One more time, inhale, over to the right, center, and then over to the left. As we come back into center, walk ourselves back around towards that right foot as we pivot on our back foot into a lunge and step into our forward fold. See if it feels a little different than it did when we first started. Let's bend one knee and then the other. Push through the hips. Fingertips come to the ground. Let's lift our toes, spread them wide, and then place them back down. Feel the arch lift. And then we're going to begin to take away the left leg in a three-pointed balance. So how much you take it away is up to you. So if you want to keep your toes on the ground and just extend behind, you can do that. We can begin to lift the leg and straighten that right leg. We're strong through the standing leg. Push through that left heel. Slowly bring the left leg all the way back down. Spread the toes, lift the arch. Take the right leg away this time. Feel length pressing through the heel. We're trying to lift the leg in line with the hip. We're strong through our standing leg. Slowly release, forward fold. Bend our knees, circle sweep, reach towards the ceiling. Option here. Chair or single leg chair, letting the right leg cross over the left. Drawing the forearms to the inside of the shin. Either option works, so holding chair or single leg chair. Slowly lifting, right knee lifts if you're crossed. And then exhale, lengthen the leg and arms, forward fold. Take a big deep breath. Bend our knees, plant our hands, find our way back to down dog. And how you travel there is up to you. So maybe it's a plank in a chaturanga. If you'd like up dog this time, stop halfway. We're gonna build lots of strength here. Flip the tops of the feet and then pull the hips through the hands. Maybe you want to travel back to down dog by just stepping back to down dog, or even be a child's pose. Let's take our right leg behind us. And as we draw the right foot between the hands, option to draw knee towards nose. So really lift as you plant to engage the core. Remember, if you need to take a hand to an ankle, just take it that way. Let's drop our back foot parallel to our front foot. We're completely connected through the back edge of the left foot, and we're lifted through the arch. Warrior two. Front toes are looking to the front edge of the mat. We're opening the hip. Back hip comes up underneath, tucks. Feel the sink through the front leg to build strength. Feel the length through the back leg. And then let's add the arms. Squeeze the tips of the shoulder blades together. We gaze out over our front fingertips. Feel the shoulders relax down away from the ears. And then as we come up, let's straighten our front leg and we're going to squeeze the thigh nice and tight. And as we do so, we're going to find triangle. Top hip bone, left hip bone is going to stay open as we take the right hand down the thigh. Our stopping point is when that top hip wants to start to close to the ground. Then maybe we take left arm towards the ceiling. Reaching the hand to the floor is not our rolling triangle. If you have that range of motion, feel free. Use the strength in the core, keeping the front leg straight. We're going to reverse the triangle. Left arm comes down the back leg. We sucker punch underneath as we open up and stretch the side body. Feel the breath come into the right rib cage. And then slowly come up, turn the toes towards that left edge of the mat, and then wide-legged forward fold. Noticing the differences. If you want to move side to side to open up the inner thigh, feel free. And then let's settle over to the right. Skandasana. If you do not wish to do the lateral lunge pose, then just stay in wide-legged forward fold. And then we're going to begin to peel the toes on that left foot towards the ceiling. Slowly come all the way in, shift the weight over to the left, staying right here or flipping the right toes towards the ceiling. Feel the work through the inner thigh. Slowly come all the way back up. Left toes turn to face the back of the mat as we sink into our warrior two. Work from the ground up. The foundational feet are most important so that we have arches, we're fully grounded through the back foot. We play around with our hip bowl so that it's tucked in underneath and neutral. Knee gazes out. We should be able to see at least the first three toes on our left foot. And then extend the arms. Relax the shoulders. Peel the tips of the shoulder blades towards one another to open the chest. And then let's begin to straighten our front leg. Squeeze that thigh muscle nice and tight to protect the knee. Open the top hip, and then let the left arm gently come down wherever we feel comfortable coming. Extend the fingertips towards the ceiling. Feel the breath. Open up the hip and the side body. And then as we come up, we're going to reverse our triangle. The right rib cage is going to come up and underneath, as we extend left arm up and over the ear. We're strong through the legs. We slow the breath. And then as we come in, turn the toes back to that edge of the mat, wide-legged forward fold. Walk back around to the right foot as we pivot on the back into a lunge. Step all the way in, forward fold. Lift the toes, spread them wide. Plant them back on the mat as we lift the arches. Our right foot is on the ground as we begin to take the left foot away, standing balance. We're going to add on to this pose, but remember you can stay right here. There's a lot of work going on. If we're taking the add in, we're gonna open that left leg up and around to the side. We're gonna lift, use your glute to lift it. Feel the strength. And then if we have the leg extended, pull it back in line with the hip. In either pose, let's bend that right front knee, connect the left foot to the ground, nice and slow, lift the torso, squeeze the glutes into lunge. Hands come down to frame the right leg, step all the way back in, forward fold. Take a moment to settle in. Feel the toes lift, arches lift, toes come down. We always want to find a nice stable foot before we add balance. Left foot is down, right leg begins to come away. Kick through the heel. Staying right here, or begin to lead with the heel as we take the right leg out and open to the side. Lift through the hip. And then as we come center, and if you're in the opposite pose with the leg just lifted, let's lower back down into our lunge. So connect the right toes to the ground and then take the torso up. Squeeze the glutes as the hips extend, arms lift. Hands come down, planting around the left foot. Find your way back to down dog however you would like to. Maybe that throws in a plank and a chaturanga and an up dog or a cobra, or we just find our way there. Coming into warrior one. Our right leg comes back in between our hands, however we need to get it there. For warrior one, very similar to lunge pose, except we're gonna fully connect our back heel to the ground. Toes are looking forward. So in warrior one, sometimes those toes start to look towards the edge of the mat, but we don't really want that as much because when the leg is extended behind the body, the safest place for it to be is looking forward. When we're ready, take the torso up, extend the hips, and then take the arms. Warrior one. Your hip bones look to the front of the mat. We feel the connection strong in the back leg. Begin to find a focal point in front of you. Adding in warrior three, we gently begin to shift forward through our right shin. And how far we come into warrior three is up to us. So maybe we keep the back toes on the ground and challenge our balance that way as the torso tips towards the ground. Or we begin to extend that back left leg, push through the heel. Arms are extended or reaching out behind us or out to the side. Slowly drop left leg, forward fold. Take a nice big exhale. Bend our knees, circle sweep, reach towards the ceiling. Squeeze the glutes, extend the hips. Chair or single leg chair, left leg crosses this time. Sink through the hips. So both poses have their benefits. Chair builds strength. Single leg chair builds strength and just opens up that hip that's crossed. And then we'll slowly rise. And then slowly close, forward fold. Traveling back to down dog however you need to get there. Maybe that's with the chaturanga, maybe that's just stepping back to down dog. Let's all meet in down dog wherever we're coming from. Left leg comes in between our hands this time. Set up for warrior one. Take your time, plant the foot. Back leg, find the full connection of the heel to the ground. And then when you're ready, we rise and we take the hips to the front of the mat. We draw forward through the front shin and we solid connect through the back heel. Arms rise. Finding our focal point into warrior three. We come up onto the back toes as we begin to straighten the front leg. Maybe toes stay there, maybe we begin to lift the leg, tip the torso parallel to the ground, hips are looking down. Feel strength in our standing leg. Slowly close, forward fold. Big exhale. Two more deep breaths. Bend our knees, plant our hands. Find our way back to downward facing dog. If you'd like to flow, take a flow. If you'd like to just find a way to down dog like me, find your way to down dog. Let's take our right leg in between our hands, however it needs to get there. Let's open up to warrior two. Drop the back foot, parallel to the front as we rise. Draw forward through the front shin. Lengthen the back. Straighten our front leg, squeeze the thigh, take top hips, stack hips. Come down into triangle. Slowly come up, sucker punch underneath as we come into reverse triangle. Top hand, palm flips. For the opening of the body. Slowly come all the way back up. Bend into our warrior two. Pivot on our back foot as our hands come around into a lunge. Let's connect the left heel completely to the ground, so bring the foot in just slightly, and then find warrior one. Warrior three is gonna have an add-in if you wanna take it. So let's find our focal point. Start with your feet, make sure we're strong through the foundation, and then begin to extend and find warrior three. If you'd like, from warrior three, we're gonna take that left leg out to the side, just like we did in that standing balance. Lift through the hip, reach through the fingers, strong through the standing leg. Bring all the way back around to warrior three. Let's release into forward fold. Well done. Right leg is in front, left leg steps behind us. Find a lunge position. And then walk our fingertips around the left side of the mat to wide-legged forward fold. Hinge down, see how the inner thighs feel. And then walk back towards your left foot, warrior two. Take your time. Feel the breath. Begin to slowly straighten our front leg, squeeze the thigh. Top hip stacks on top of the bottom hip as we come into our triangle. Reach nice and tall through the fingertips. And then let's reverse it. We lift through the torso. We sucker punch underneath through the back rib. Top palm flips towards our face as we open up. Coming back into warrior two, bend through the front leg. Pivot on your back foot as we come around into a lunge. Step the back foot forward enough so that we can connect the heel to the mat. Toes look forward on our extended leg. We find the shift forward through our front shin. We find evenness through the hips as the torso lifts. Squeeze the glutes. Arms lift if we'd like. Warrior three, find your focal point and your warrior three. Find your journey into warrior three. Remember, we always balance way better on one side than the other. It's just kind of the way it goes. And then if we're taking that add in, we're gonna take that right leg out and around to the side. We're gonna lift through the heel. We're gonna squeeze the glute. We're gonna stay strong through the standing leg. If you're shaking, if you fell, that's okay. Slowly bring the leg back around if it was extended out. Forward fold, big exhale. Well done. Right leg steps behind us. Find your lunge. Walk around to the edge of the mat, wide-legged forward fold. Take a minute. Maybe you can take your legs out wider and begin to bring the forearms to the ground. Maybe we stay lifted and our feet are closer together. Take two more deep breaths here. If your legs are extended a little wider, go ahead and heel toe themselves a little closer so when we pivot, it's more comfortable. And then walk around to our right leg as we pivot on our back into a lunge. Step all the way in, forward fold. Slowly begin to come down onto our backside. Extending our legs out long. We release our sitting bones, those bony parts in our tails. We pull our toes towards our shin. Keeping the right leg extended, bring the left leg in. And then let's cross it over the right as far up the thigh as we can get it. We hug the left knee in and we stay up tall on our sitting bones. Our right hand comes to wrap the left knee. If it's comfortable, nice big inhale, length through the crown of the head, and then twist the spine over that left leg, bringing the left hand right behind the back to sit us up. Gaze goes over the left shoulder. Feel the left hip press down into the ground. If it's comfortable for you and your hip range of motion, begin to bring the right leg underneath towards the left backside, half floor to the fishes. Continually press the left hip down. And then slowly unwind the spine and the legs from either position. Give them a shake. Left leg is straight this time. Right knee comes in. Crosses up the left leg as far as you can get it. And you can even press that right foot into the ground to help press your right sitting bone down to the ground. Nice and tall. Separate your ribs. Separate your spine. Hug in with the left arm as we sit up nice and tall. If this feels enough, we don't even have to go any further. But if we'd like to, we stay strong and lifted out of the core. And then as we exhale, we allow ourselves to turn over to the right-hand side. Our gaze goes over our right shoulder. We feel the breath come in. If we'd like to take the left leg underneath, bringing the heel towards the back side on the right hip, go ahead. If not, stay right where you're at. 3 more deep, deep breaths. And then as we unwind our legs, we give them a shake. We scooch towards the top of our mat as we begin to lower ourselves down. This is a good sign. Put our knees into our chest. Gently rock our low back. Release the pressure from the hips. Let's extend our left leg. Right knee hugs into the chest. Right arm comes out like an airplane wing, palm towards the ceiling. Take a nice big inhale, and as we lift our hips, we're going to shift them over to the right as we pull the right leg across the body. The key here is to keep your right shoulder blade mounted to the ground. Nice gentle spinal twist. As we bring the right leg back in line with the hip, we shift our hips to come back center to the mat. Right leg extends. Left knee comes in. Left arm comes out, palm to the ceiling. And then we lift and shift the hips to the left as the leg comes across the body. And then as we come back into our center, let our knees come into our chest. As we prepare for final relaxation. So if you're newer to yoga, we actually just lay there. And they call us the hardest pose in yoga because we're supposed to relax. And for many of us, that's not always the easiest thing to do, myself included. And how we choose to lay there in final relaxation is up to you. So maybe we take the legs out and the arms out into what we call Savasana. If that's uncomfortable or you just don't like that position, you can always bend the knees and bring the feet to the mat. My personal favorite is reclined butterfly pose, Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing the bottoms of the feet together as the knees fall out to the side. You may even choose to lay on your side if that's most comfortable. Begin to draw the attention back to the breath. You feel the inhale come in through the nose. You feel the belly rise towards the ceiling. And then as we exhale, we slowly feel ourselves grow heavy to the ground below us. Feel our jaw soften, even if our mouth is closed. Feel the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Feeling the eyes grow heavy in the sockets. Take 5 more deep breaths. Slowly beginning to wiggle our fingers and our toes, drawing awareness back to the body. Our legs extend long in line with the hips as the arms come overhead. Good morning stretch. Knees begin to filter one and then the other into the chest. As we slowly roll over onto whichever side is most comfortable, letting our head grow heavy in our arms for a moment. And then gently using our top hand to press ourselves into a comfortable seated position. Our spine long over our hips. Let's close our eyes for a second. Hands come to our knees, chin tucks towards our chest. Take a nice big inhale. Some of us were starting our day, some of us is the close of our day. But I'm so grateful that you all spent part of your day with me. Take a nice big inhale, arms come up overhead. And as we draw the hands down towards heart center, from my home to yours. Namaste.